Salvete omnes. So far, and I'm seeing lots of positive green bars in my audio icon, so that's good. Okay, we are now, yes, as I said before, in turn 14 of our Senate phase. We're about halfway through. What we're going to do here is we're starting with the censor tonight. So the censor is leading us off. You can see he currently possesses the Fuscus over here with Manlius. So Numerius Aurelius is going to lead off proceedings today as he sees fit. And we'll go from there. So turning it over to the presiding magistrate at the moment with Manlius. Over to
just
you.
Before we do Aurelius, worth you picked up at the end of last week's turn that we'd moved into the third age.
Yes, that is a very good pickup. Thank you very much, Tabitha Corneli. Yes, so for everybody that's watching, and I guess for the rest of our players who didn't catch right at the end of our debriefing session there, we are in fact now in the third era, which is the late Republic, because we've revealed our first red cards. So because we've drawn our first red cards, anything in terms of dice rolls or particular events, etc., we now look to the late Republic. So we're now considered in the late Republic, which is the first time our little group has ever been in the late Republic. So this is a pretty exciting moment for us all. So well done to all of you to getting us here. So, yeah. All right. Yes, I think we're good now. Yes, Marta Quedia.
Quick question. Can we assassinate people when they're not in Rome? Or are people who are not in Rome?
They have to be in Rome. That is a good question.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I was man, it can almost be like a protective mechanism as well, too, if your people are out.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be a way of protecting them by having them post out of Rome. That is correct, yeah. Any other questions before I let the censor take over?
I want to trade a card with Numerius Aurelius.
Yeah, you want to trade a card?
Yeah, I want to give him a card.
Oh, you can't trade cards until the revolution phase.
Oh, that's a pity.
Yeah. So that's the only time you can trade cards is in the revolution phase. Yep.
Okay, okay.
And your volume seems to have gone a little bit quiet. Can you, hang on, maybe, can you just double check Titus or Tronius? Or maybe I can adjust your volume a little bit here. Just speak again for me.
Hello?
Cool. There you go. I've done a little bit of adjustment there. Perfect. Okay, Censor, over to you.
Thank you. Just a clarification, I guess, after it being so long as well. Can you minor prosecute people that have major prosecution ones? Yep.
You can indeed.
Yeah,
yep.
cool.
Completely.
Okay. Well, I think that as censor and noting the current political climate in Rome, I think it would be suitable if we prosecuted a minor prosecution, Fabius.
It's not coming a mile away.
So I don't think he's been evil enough to prosecute him to death, but I think that as I said, the political climate, he needs a little bit of touching up. So a minor prosecution in this case.
All right.
we have the...
So for the players at home, I'm going to show them the rough equation while the censor is also going to consider that as well. And what's the censor going to do first, censor?
So I guess we have to appoint a prosecutor first, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
Just let me look at the calculation table quickly to see if there's a benefit to choosing anyone in particular.
Sure.
Maybe Claudius?
How about choosing Achilles?
Oratory.
He could be the defendant. Achilles could defend him.
Put the hit the tab on who you're talking about so I can see.
Oh, I was thinking Claudius over here. Oh.
Do you know who could be a candidate? Remember Terentius? It used to be part of your...
I don't know if I trust him that much.
Ended up over here.
I'm worried about how money could influence him. I think, we want someone with high oratory, just in case. I think maybe Alias, if Alias is interested, would be my suggestion. Yep. Happy?
Yep, wouldn't be any issue with that.
Okay. And I guess Fabius can have a advocate if he wishes. So that will be up to you, Titus, if you'd like, or if you just want to go with Fabius himself.
I was thinking Fluvius could make a good advocate, or Quintus Flaminius.
Do you get popularity if you win the prosecution? I think you do, don't you? I think Quintus probably needs that popularity, but that's up to you.
What do if the defense is unsuccessful? What do you lose?
So I can give you a quick rundown of outcomes of prosecutions, if you like. So the prosecutor will gain any prior console marker from the accused, if successful. Prosecutor gains half fractions rounded up of any influence lost by the accused, and then in terms of a minor prosecution, the accused will lose 5 popularity, 5 influence, all concessions to the forum, loses any prior console marker from there. So that's and then the advocate will lose 3 influence as well, assuming there is an advocate. Prosecutor will gain the fractions rounded up of any influence loss. So in the case of a minor prosecution, what's that? 3, half rounded up. So prosecutor stands to gain 3 influence if they win.
So Flaminius will accept the
Quintus Flaminius. Okay, then Quintus Flaminius it is.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So where's the calculator again?
Is advocate.
Good, yes. I like the use of the tokens here. The
prosecutor. Who was the prosecutor?
There's our prosecutor. Lovely.
Okay. So where's the tool again for the prosecution?
So we don't have a built-in tool, but if you look at the equations over here on our little cheat sheet, that gives you an idea. But really, what you're going to do first there, Censor, is you're going to host a standard Senate vote, of which the defendant would add his votes in defense. At the point of time that the faction who has the defendant is called to vote, they may choose to make a popular appeal at that time, if they so wish. Results tallied accordingly, and once they were at that point, you'll finish by calling for the trial votes, which is that final blue equation of the advocate and prosecutor, and then add that all together, go from there. And the only other thing I'd suggest, Censor, is make it really clear from your voters how they're voting, and get them to say, I vote in favour of guilty or not guilty. And as you're noting it down, that'll make it quite clear for you which way people are voting.
All right, thank you. So I guess before
the advocate of my client Fabius, I have to make some suggestions here concerning the proceedings of the trial. Could you please make sure beforehand that we have the correct vote count for the factions, so that
we will hear the defence's proposal?
Certainly. So I guess if everyone wants to do a quick check.
I have 6.
So
Yeah,
it's
I have 8.
yeah. So oratory and knights, correct?
Oratory and knights is correct.
Yep.
Not counting the people outside of Rome.
Not counting the people outside of Rome, which should be covered by the away from Rome marker. If your senators is missing an away from Rome marker, be sure to cover him up. If he's a governor, for example, or we don't have any commanders at the moment. It's just the governors that should have one covering them.
So I guess just let me know when you're finished and everything's accurate on your end, and we'll begin the proceedings.
Anyway, the advocate's not a popular guy, is he?
Yeah, popularity is not that important in this case. I guess it's more about the truth and justice, not about popularity.
Just got to know the legal proceedings. Who cares if you're popular or not, right? Yeah.
What makes it even funnier is just the difference then between the popularity of the prosecutor as well.
Yeah. I mean, defense lawyers are always hated people, aren't they? For criminals, that is, for criminals. You know, defense lawyers for, people who rightly need defending. I don't know.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess if everyone's happy, we'll proceed. In which case, I will ask the prosecutor to outline his case against Fabius before we send him off to trial.
Very well. I think the case is quite clear. I'm here on behalf of the popular people. Fabius, while aligning himself with an array of medals, while gaining influence across this Senate, while gaining the loyalty of many of our veteran troops, it's clear he's used this corruption of these high posts to do nothing but line his own pockets and gain personal influence within the Senate. It is time once and for all, and for finally bring this man down a peg or two. I will clearly show to the Senate that this is what is required for the Rome and what the people of Rome dictate and wish. Thank you.
Objection. Like, I agree with lining myself with influence, but not with lining myself with money. Have you seen how much money I got?
True. Yeah, noted.
Your Honor, we have no idea how much money he has squirreled away in that faction treasury.
What was Panama called in the Roman times?
You sound unsure.
So with that, I will also hear from the advocate in defense of the Fabius.
Honorable Senators of Rome, I stand before you today to defend the distinguished Roman consul Fabius. His expertise and strategic acumen are not in dispute, and they have preserved the very essence of our republic in its most perilous hour. As you are all aware, Rome has faced a menacing threat of Hannibal and his Carthaginian forces, and in the face of such a formidable adversary, it was Fabius who perceived the futility of direct confrontation, and instead adopted a strategy of attrition. Critics may label this approach as cowardice, but let us not forget the dire consequences. Fabius has shown us that true leadership is not always about audacity, but about foresight. Furthermore, let us consider the integrity and dedication of Fabius as a leader. He has remained steadfast in his duty despite facing immense criticism and political opposition. He has placed the welfare of Rome and the Republic above personal ambition, demonstrating an exemplary sense of duty and sacrifice. Senators, I urge you to recognize the invaluable contributions of Consul Fabius. His methods may be unconventional, but his results speak volumes. Let us honor his service, for it is through such leaders that Rome shall endure and thrive. I pray to Jupiter Optimus Maximus that you, the jury, will now not forfeit justice. I will rest my case with you. That's it.
Thank you very much, Advocate. That was
I feel convinced.
a very impassioned speech. So I appreciate your fervour. So with that being said, we will move to voting. So in this circumstance, I'm going to call for votes, beginning with the Menace faction. And just a reminder that a yay vote is a guilty and a nay vote is a not guilty in the prosecution. So Titus, how would you vote?
Well, I'm totally convinced of my own innocence. Because I know the facts,
Sometimes facts don't matter.
True.
Yeah, sometimes it's just feelings.
Yes, yeah.
We live in a post-truth world.
Luna faction, how will you vote?
Yeah, I will side with my client for sure. With, nay.
That's a good sign.
Corona faction, how will you vote?
Well, as persuasive as the Advocate was, unfortunately, it gets trumped by realpolitik.
Aquila, how will you vote?
I like to keep playing, so unfortunately, my love of the game means that.
Solace faction, how will you vote?
On behalf of the people, 12 votes for guilty.
And I myself, the Palmer faction, will vote 17 votes for guilty. So, and then, so you can do a popular appeal, correct? If they would like.
At the time of when their faction was formed,
okay.
was their opportunity.
Yeah,
Yep.
all good. So I think with no other actions, that's a pretty clear.
Do your trial votes, Censor, and add them in.
How do you trial votes again?
If you look at that little equation on our little cheat sheet over here, you'll see the trial votes is a 2d6 roll plus the Advocate minus the prosecutor's oratories.
Okay. 2d6. So 8 plus the Advocate. So plus the Advocate, yes? I believe it was.
Correct. Plus the Advocate, yes.
So 12 minus 2. So plus 12 in favour of guilty. Correct?
Seems right to me.
Yep. So
wasn't it the case that the influence of Fabius would also count?
You now have to add the influence to the not guilty vote of the defendant.
Okay. So it was 14 votes plus 34 influence, which is 48 against 29, 30, 48, 57 plus 12, I think it was 12 or 14.
Yeah.
The trial vote. So it's over. So guilty it is.
Cool.
So it's 5 influence, 5 popularity, right?
What was the final the final voting delineation?
Oh, I have to add it up again. It was 14. It was 48 to 29, 30, 48, 57. It was 48 to 69, I think it was.
Oh, 69 in favour of guilty.
Yes, correct.
Did you add the defendant's votes to the not guilty? Sorry, the defendant's influence to the not guilty side?
Correct.
Yes.
You added the correct side? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
How
30,
did we
34.
get to 60 guilty votes?
What do you
My
mean?
count's 20 guilty.
20?
Yeah. I'm pretty certain, based on the numbers, it should be a not guilty outcome.
Yeah, I'm also, but I don't want to interrupt the honorable magistrate, but I have to.
So
let's go with the votes again.
So add it all back over. All right.
Yeah.
So that's 14, and then
Plus
30
plus 35. Yep.
It was 34. 34.
Right.
Right. And then So that's 29, 38
It's
plus 19.
57, right?
Yeah, 57.
Minus the
and
influence.
now
Oh,
that-
for 58. Sorry, I think I got it wrong. No, it should be 48. And then
And the advocate?
and then the trial votes, which were 8,
Trial votes.
8 plus 4 minus 2.
So the trial vote. So what was the total of your trial vote?
10.
Sorry,
10.
so and that goes in
wasn't it?
favour of the defendant.
Yeah.
Oh, does it? Okay,
10
I added it on the
does.
wrong
Favor
side then.
the defendant.
Yep.
That's why I added it on the wrong side.
I see. Now, does that change the outcome to not guilty?
No, I still have 10 to guilty.
So it's a closer margin, but it's still guilty.
My math is 57 votes for guilty.
Yep.
Minus 35 for the influence. Minus 2 for the advocate brings us down to 20. Minus 10 for the trial votes get us down to 10. 10 in
I
favour
see.
of guilty.
A difference of a delta of 10 in favour of guilty. Okay, wow. All right.
Happy
Amazing.
for anyone to double check. 57 votes in favour. Minus 35. Minus 2 got me down to 20. Minus 10 for the trial votes we rolled gives us down to 10 in favour of guilty.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Amazing.
So you should
Yeah.
have gone for the
How is it there's a
popular
calculator for
opinion?
everything except this?
I think there's a new module version of this, which I'm not yet using, which I think now has a prosecution calculation component included. Hurry up for me to getting it updated, I suppose, is the big one. All right, so let's just quickly run through the outcome there. Let's start with the defendant, please. Looks like we've already made some adjustments, so he'll lose 5 influence and 5 popularity, and that's been
Exactly.
taken. The prior console marker gets to go to the prosecutor if he doesn't already have one.
He
Otherwise,
has
we
one,
did
so
it.
it goes back to the back.
Great. And I guess 3 influence for the prosecutor and minus 3 influence for the advocate. There we go.
What was it with the advocate?
Advocate's minus 3 influence. And then the advocate and prosecutor tokens can be returned to the centerpiece. And that concludes that, at least perhaps first one, assuming there may be a second, but that's up to the censor, who will come in just a moment.
Does the censor want to do another minor prosecution, which is within his right?
I'm happy to discuss it if anyone has any wrongdoers which they want to point out to the
So you can do 1 major or 2 minors.
Well, just did you have anyone in mind?
Probably if there's any other influential members.
There is a few.
Wouldn't we wanted to prosecute Scipio Africanus? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Thinking. As someone who will likely gain more influence by the year's end.
So did you hear me?
Scipio,
Wasn't there the idea to?
Well, let's prosecute him then. Let's go ahead.
I heard there was some embezzlement of campaign funding.
Well, so we'll go ahead with a second minor prosecution.
Some say it's been Africana who's been delaying our prosecution of the Punic War to instill his influence further within the Senate. Some people are saying this.
Some should watch their mouth.
All right.
Many people are saying.
So I guess we'll start with a prosecutor if anyone is interested. Otherwise, I'll begin asking if anyone's interested. There's no hands go up. No, doesn't look like anyone's interested.
I would be willing. I would be willing to prosecute this Flaminius.
So I guess if nobody else is going to volunteer, I'll volunteer Cato to prosecute.
Only if yeah, cool. And he's willing because you control him. Yep, that's fine.
Correct. I would hope he's willing. And I will pass it over to Tiberius to select an advocate if he wishes.
What's the number 1 trait of an advocate? Is it oratory?
Yes.
Oratory, yes.
Well,
Oratory.
Scipio will defend himself.
Fair enough.
As recommended by all justices and lawyers.
Correct. It's the only way to get a real defense. All right. So in that case, I guess we will begin with our arguments. So I think that the easiest spot to begin is that currently our dear field console is getting ready to march on our enemies, but one has to question how he got there. I think that there's been some gross violations of law and order, some corruption, major in fact, looking at the senator. But in this case, it's easy to go for the small wins, so we're only going to go over the minor ones. But noting how popular the commander is, it might be worrisome if his influence grows unchecked. So it's fortuitous to bring to light this corruption now so that we may address it. And that's what we're going to bring out in court today for everyone to analyse. Thank you. Over to you, defendant.
Well, it's with downcast eyes that I stand before you today to address a grave injustice that threatens the very foundation of our democracy. This politically motivated criminal prosecution of a man whose only crime is to have stood for Rome at a time of its greatest need. This is not just an attack on one person, it is an attack on the principles of fairness, justice, and equality that we hold dear. In our society that values the rule of law, this judicial system must remain impartial and free from political influence, so it is shameful that in this place where we value so greatly the scales of justice and want them to balance evenly, that here I have to stand ahead of a dangerous trip overseas to defend our way of life, to have to stand and defend my reputation. This stain of corruption that is on me, it was only earned by being a master of horse in the most recent military campaign. And yet, by doing my duty, I stand before you. Well, I say, fellow senators, we must be vigilant in protecting the integrity of our legal institutions. We cannot allow political motivations to be twisted into a tool for silencing and preventing freedom of Rome. When we dare permit such actions, we erode the freedoms for which we stand. Let us remember the strength of our democracy, the strength of Rome that lies in our ability to uphold justice without fear or favour. And it is incumbent on all of us, on all of you, to vote not guilty and to send Scipio Africanus away, not under the stain of guilt, but upstanding and empowered to defend the shores of our great republic.
Did you pre-write that? That's pretty good.
That was going to be the census comment was that almost seemed pre-prepared.
Well, people get a lot of practice.
Wouldn't you want your lawyer to be prepared when they enter court?
Yeah, I'm going to hire him. That's great.
Okay, well, with that...
I've been in front of every judge of the Republic, mostly as a lawyer.
So with that wonderful speech, we shall begin the voting, and I wish to remind the senators that a yay vote is in favour of guilty and a nay vote is not guilty. So to begin, I will start with the Corona faction and ask you for your votes on this prosecution. Thank you. I will move clockwise to the Aquila faction. How will you vote on this matter?
I am probably still going to have to say guilty.
Shame.
Solace.
I like that. The emotional techniques.
12 votes in favour of the guilt.
I will call for myself to vote. Palmer faction, 17 votes in favour of guilty. Menace faction, how will you vote?
Let's go with the herd mentality.
And Luna
Always
faction,
the right
how will
choice.
you vote?
Although I do admire his oratory skills, I have to go to the faction.
Once again, real politics trumps justice.
Okay, so let's leave everything there. Wait, put it back. So we can add it all up.
That's a 52. I'll do the math in the
Okay.
background.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Well, I'll roll for the trial votes then. So it's 11, and
Minus
then
11?
yep, minus 11 plus 6. I think they have the same oratory.
Minus
So it's plus 6 in favor of guilty, and then minus 5, so plus 1 to the roll. So 12 not guilty. That would be. That should be everything correct. Do we have a total there?
Oh, sorry.
21.
minus the influence as well, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Influences to the not guilty. Correct.
Yep. 28.
All right, I think it comes out to positive 9 for guilt.
Really?
So,
Still?
we'll just double check it, I guess. So
Yeah.
14,
It
31,
was
43.
52
Yep,
Is-
52 votes. Yep.
minus 11 for the roll,
Yep. So
minus 6
For trial votes? No, we shouldn't forget the trial votes.
well, the trial
Yeah.
votes were
11.
11 in favor of not guilty, and then minus 6 for the prosecutor, and then plus 5 for the advocate. So it should have
And-
been
And 28 influence for the not guilty as well. Yeah.
All right, so then plus 5 minus 28, then it's 12 in favor of guilt.
Wow. Amazing.
It feels distinctly un-Roman that I didn't get to bribe somebody for freedom.
no. You could have messaged the censor. Okay.
All right. Let's resolve there. Let's start with the defendant if we can. He will lose 5 popularity and he will lose 5 influence. All concessions, he doesn't have any. He doesn't have a prior console marker. The prosecutor will gain 3 influence, please. The prosecutor will gain 3 influence. And the advocate will lose 3 influence, please. But if it's the defendant, it doesn't matter.
All right.
So you don't need to lose a further 3. You've already lost your influence there.
Gotcha.
Incredible. They often say that it's really hard to prosecute people in late game, but we've just foiled that twice. Yeah.
I think something that could have helped is if the advocate was a different faction, that may have swayed that faction to want to vote not guilty.
Oh yeah. Of course, we didn't see any vetoes or bribes or anything in that vote either, which can sometimes determine an outcome. Okay.
So with that, we are concluded the prosecution. So the censor will hand back my Fascus to the console.
Truth be told, I think it was actually my idea last week that that we prosecute Skip.
Thanks for playing into it. Makes for great viewing at home.
It just makes it more useful.
Yeah, true.
Not many people that can be away from Rome, so we need to make the ones that are capable of it useful.
So
Very good.
Next business is about the governors, right? The
Sounds good, mate.
provinces. Okay. So we have to fill in the positions for Gallia, Narbonensis, Creta at Cyrenaica, and Cilicia at Cyprus. Who would apply for these provinces? Who would like to go there? Is there anyone interested?
Which provinces? Sorry.
So whoever comes first can pick whatever he wants to.
I'll put somebody forward for Creta
Okay,
as Syracania. Terentius.
Terentius? For which province? Creta?
Creta, yeah.
Creta? Okay. Okay. Someone else. who wants to go to Gallia or Cilicia at Cyprus?
They can't be an elder, can they?
No, they can't be an elder.
They can't be an elder, yeah. And they can't hold a major office. That's also the
Sensor, what was something that we failed to do at the end of the prosecutions?
Thank you. You can remove your corruption markers.
Okay, that's good. Everyone can remove his corruption markers.
Everybody is cleansed.
Silly question. The corruption marker you get for taking spoils as a governor, do they hold until you're back in Rome?
That is correct. Well done.
Okay. There are many elders I see, right? Not many options here left. So I have to pick Flaminius, maybe. Proposing him to go to Gallia Narbonensis. Wrong token. Sorry. And maybe who is Popilius? Maybe. No, he is away already. Sorry. Oh wow, who is left then? Maybe only from Machiavellia. Another.
That's what I had already
Aurelius.
ascertained, that I was the only one with like people.
Yeah, because I can't see anyone else.
Sometimes it's like that in life. You just don't have that many options, you know, with the person you have to pick.
Yeah. Sorry. So I put this for vote now, and I will ask Machiavellia first how she votes on this issue.
Are you going to send 2 of mine?
Yeah, the thing is, who else could I pick?
What about this guy?
The other
no, he's the field
senators are
consul.
all
Okay,
elderly
that was
or
basically
away.
it. Oh, that was it. Well, there's no other choices. We have to say
That's
yes.
what it. Yeah.
Sometimes in life, it doesn't always.
Yeah. The only thing we could change is the provinces, right? Who goes to which province? That's the only thing.
The only thing I was like,
could
well, what
change now.
does actually happen if somebody tribunes it or something?
Yeah, this proposal would then be put down.
But then we have like
it
no
would
other
not
option.
be valid anymore
believe
to propose
if-
it again.
If you get to the end and there's
There
literally
would be
no
another
choice,
option to send, for example, Valerius not to Cilicia at Cyprus, but
we just
instead
send
to
up-
Gallia, for
oh,
example.
okay.
That would be another proposal. Yeah. Okay, then I will ask Tiberius Cornelius. How would you vote on this issue?
In favor.
Okay. Marcus Decimus Meridius, how do you vote?
12 votes against.
Okay. Numerius Aurelius, how do you vote on this issue?
I vote 17 votes in favor.
Oh, thank you. Titus Autronius Digitus.
I'm gonna vote in favor.
Okay, thank you. And I will vote in favor for this proposal. So it passes then. There was no veto.
Very
So I
good.
would ask the senators to take.
All right, so let's have a look. So Valerius, I'm going to get out the senators here. So who am I? I've got Valerius. Who are my other governors?
It is Valerius.
Yep.
It's, Flaminius.
Oh, Flaminius.
And
Yep.
Terentius.
And Terentius. He's number 20, isn't he? I'm going to manually quickly flick through here. He's not in that pile. Terentius, where are you? Terentius. He's not in that one. I can't find Trentius. Where is he? Cornelius, Copernicus, Fabius, Sulpicius, statesman. He is missing. Oh no. Let's put Flaminius. What province is Flaminius going to?
Flaminius is going to, what is it? Creta?
No,
Gallia,
around
Narbonensis.
Greater.
Gallia. So I put Flaminius up there. Can we put a faction token on these areas as well? Where's Valerius going?
Valerius is going to Cilicia at Cyprus.
Cilicia at Cyprius over there. Very good. Trentius is here. There's Trentius. Okay, and where's Trentius going? Over here. Perfect. All right. I found my other governors. They were hiding in a separate pile.
Okay.
There we go. We'll put these faction tokens away. All right, so we've got a faction token for each of those new provinces. So yes, can I have one for Flaminius, please? A faction token out there, as well as the governor's province token. I'll bring it up there for the moment. There we go. Everybody put a term marker on their province as well. It says 1 of 3. Grab a term mark, everybody.
Where are they?
They are somewhere. There they are, above near the events deck. Grab one from near the events deck under inactive wars. You'll see the term markers. Plop those on your governors, or rather on the province card. Who owns Flaminius?
Machiavelli.
Marcoedia, it's all right. I'll grab another faction token just to remind us that that's Marcoedia's governor.
Lots of red and orange out there, boys.
Yeah.
Good. A term marker needs to be put out for Valerius, and a term marker needs to be put out for Flaminius. Marcoedia? Marcoedia still with us? Yep, she is. Good. I saw the finger of acknowledgement. Yep, I can see her working. Excellent. That one's already got one. There you go. Perfect. Splendid. All right, so that's the governor's issue. Thank you for your time, Rome Console. We are now sorted administratively on our world map.
Perfect.
Very good.
So we are now in the open business phase, if I understand it correctly.
Oh, hang on. We've got another province that was in hiding here.
Oh, but unfortunately, it was the most prosperous province, and no one can go there now. Sorry, that's a pity. Oh, I'm very. I'm sorry for this. I have to say.
So the first question we ask is there anybody left that's eligible to go normally?
I think not.
I think not either. Now, but what can we do? There is still a valid option in the rules that we can do right now. Can you identify what that is, Rome Console?
We could send Cassius, right?
We have to send Cassius. That's correct. We will still take it as a measure anyway, but it sort of has to happen by default. That's correct.
Yeah, so we don't have to vote on this. It's automatic.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. If there's no other option left, the last
It has
option.
to happen. Yeah.
Who is it? This guy here, right?
Yeah, we can forego the voting then.
The formalities.
It costs time. The formalities.
Have we?
So,
do we need to reveal Asia on the map?
Okay.
So where does, in terms of this map, where does Asia start? Are we confident that that is indeed where Asia starts?
It's Constantinople area, like
In here?
Istanbul area. Yeah, the Turkish.
No, I revealed the wrong one. There we go.
Okay, sorry.
That's Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Nah.
So Asia. So Cassius is going to Asia now, right?
Yes, correct. I'm putting some weird fog of war on the board. I don't know if you can all see that, what that looks like. Asia. All right.
Okay.
All right, we'll drag him out. And who is it? Yeah, Cassius. I'm going to see if I can find his respective governor. There he is, right on top. That's good. I'll pop him over there so he's got his little armor on. There we go. Splendid. All right, now we've done all the mandatories.
Can we influence Cassius while he's not in Rome?
No.
No.
No, you can't persuade him if you mean this. He must be in Rome
Yeah,
in order to persuade
Well,
him.
we'll have to wait till he returns.
I see.
That, at least this is my understanding, but I'm open to being challenged on this.
All right, Rome
But we
Console.
don't need to have to clarify this now. No? So next, my understanding is that we are now in open session, an open business session. If no one has any...
Wait. Should we have sent him to Asia? Because have you read the text on the Pergamene bequest?
Well, we wouldn't have a choice, right? We would have.
this is...
No, have we sent the 3 legions and 3 fleets to retrieve the 50 coin? Because if
No.
not,
we haven't.
then because it says creates the province of Asia at the start of the next forum phase if collected, and we haven't collected it.
Maybe we did put the Asia province there in order to not forget that we would get Asia if we collect this.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that
But
what
I
you
don't
heard?
remember.
Asia hasn't come out another way?
I don't remember it,
Let's
unfortunately.
just double check. I'm just going to quickly have a look through the discard pile.
Yeah, it'll only be through the war cards that we.
Potentially, yeah. Because I was perhaps writing the opinion that Asia had come out from some other means. Perhaps not. If you just continue on for the moment, I'll have a look, because otherwise we'll just withdraw that. It's not a great loss at the moment. Not seeing anything that has created Asia otherwise.
Maybe we could find this out later on and could reverse this.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
right.
not of the
Like I said, it's not harming us right now. So it might be the case that, we just prematurely pulled the province out a little bit ambitiously, and we've just confused ourselves, perhaps. So let's crack on, and we'll have a look in slow time. We'll probably look at the last footage and we'll work it out. Easy peasy.
Okay. Then I assume that we are in open session, open business phase. Okay.
Is this a chance to play a law card?
What sort of card?
Yeah,
A law card,
you
is
can
it
play a
fine?
law card. You can play law cards at every time in the Senate phase, if I remember correctly.
Well, I'll play a law card when at the right time to do so.
Which is any
I
time.
will begin with a speech concerning the state of our justice system. Honorable senators, I stand before you, a humble servant of the Republic, to address a matter of grave importance, a matter that speaks not only to the integrity of our legal institutions, but also to the enduring strength of our alliances. Our current system relies on extraordinary courts summoned only at the behest of magistrates. This ad hoc approach leaves justice to chance. Prosecution is left to their discretion. Such an uncertain system weakens our authority and leaves our allies without a steadfast forum of justice. O tempora, o mores. I call upon Jupiter Optimus Maximus the guardian of our laws and the embodiment of divine justice, to witness our resolve as we seek to forge a new path. We must create a standing court, one that is ever ready, an institution not bound by the fleeting will of individual magistrates, but one that stands as permanent pillar of accountability and fairness. Imagine a tribunal dedicated solely to the prosecution of former governors, whose misdeeds betray the trust not only of our people, but of our allies also. This court, by its very permanence, would serve as an unwavering beacon of justice. It would be a court that our honored allies may always approach and call upon when they see that Rome upholds the rule of law. In so doing, we not only reinforce our internal discipline, but also fortify the bonds of trust and mutual respect with our allies. Let it be known that our current extraordinary courts, summoned only in times of crisis and at the pleasure of the magistrates, are no longer sufficient. They leave too much to the caprice of individual judgment and risk the erosion of justice. By establishing a standing court, we ensure that the pursuit of justice is continuous, impartial, and independent of transient political whims. Our allies who look to Rome as a paragon of order and virtue must know that we have built an institution they can rely on, one that stands ready at all times without fail or favor. I beseech you, O noble senators, to reflect upon the legacy we wish to leave. Let us heed the call of justice, secure the integrity of our republic, and fortify our alliances by enacting reforms that establish a standing court, a court that will forever be a bulwark against corruption and a beacon for all who seek justice under our banner. May Jupiter Optimus Maximus grant us the wisdom and strength to enact these necessary reforms so that our republic and our allies may forever thrive under the auspices of truth and justice. So I would like any senator who would like to propose such a law to come forward. I will support him in this effort. I heard there was a Jurist who wrote something like Calpurnian law. If there's anyone willing to put forward such a law, I will support this law.
Insert cricket sound.
Yeah. So maybe later.
What if I could? I'm inspired. If I could do that, I would do it.
Yeah, I will support such efforts.
Then why not try to pass effectively a measure that brings back from the wealth that the governors accrue during their mandate and brings it back to the treasury of Rome, which is in dire need of contributions of the governors.
So a law is being put forward. So whoever wants to sponsor it.
Like I'm willing to sponsor it.
Okay, as a co-sponsor or as a sponsor? And who exactly would it be?
I would co-sponsor it together with...
I'll need you to name a senator. I need exact senators' names.
Yeah. I'm thinking like... I could see me co-sponsoring it with Cato the Elder, for example.
Yeah, but who of your faction is going to sponsor it?
Fabius.
Fabius is going to be the sponsor or the co-sponsor? And
he's going to be the sponsor. And I'm gonna, if Kaito is okay, I would nominate him for co-sponsor.
Yeah, we have to ask Kaito if he would be willing to co-sponsor this.
He would be.
Okay, then I will. So I don't have to put it forward. It was already put forward, but now we will begin with the voting. So I will ask then Tiberius Cornelius to vote on this proposed law.
Well, it seems unjust, ill-directed at those factions who gracefully and generously supply governors to govern our expanding empire. So no. Sorry, no.
Okay, Machiavellia, how will you vote on this issue,
I was trying to understand.
on this proposed law?
Okay, can you explain to me in in one sentence exactly what it is you're trying to achieve with this law?
It's basically if any governor is corrupt, meaning he takes extra money from the province, when he comes back to Rome, they need to put some of that money into the treasury.
Not into the treasury exactly, but it will be deducted from him, and it goes to
the bank.
Those provincials who were damaged, but it will not be in the treasury, right?
Okay, so you're saying if somebody takes spoils
but
as a governor,
it will.
Yeah. They can be
Yeah.
fined when they come back, basically.
The spoils must go into the treasury.
Are paid to the bank from.
Yeah, so the
I'll pay for
spoils
the bank
must be then put to the contributions to the state. If you're a governor and you take spoils,
No.
is that what?
So if he's being so if he's being fined by this new law, then he would have to pay this money, but not to the treasury, but to the provincials, right? It would go to the bank, but it would not go towards the state treasury.
Yeah, I think that's correct, because the bank here doesn't mean state treasury. I think it means back in the bag.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there's another option that if the individual ex-governor wouldn't have enough money to pay, then he would have to pay the rest in the shortfall, how it is called here, in popularity and influence. So it would be another way to hold those individuals accountable and another way to reduce their influence, for example.
It basically increases the penalty for taking spoils as a governor.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it also reduces the ability then of people who do take spoils to then donate to the state treasury.
Doesn't pay.
Well, then that's up to the
corruption.
center. Like, it's not happening automatically. Like,
Yeah, the censor can choose, correct?
yeah.
Yeah, he can choose, and they can contribute to the treasury, but they would have to pay maybe then with their influence and popularity.
But it's only once per turn, so it's not like every governor's getting fined, right?
Right. It's only once. Only one governor, ex-governor who was corrupt, can be picked.
Yeah, so basically the censor, when he gets his one major or two minor, will also have the option to fine one corrupted governor who's returned to Rome.
Okay.
But Mark, it's yet another demonstration of intergenerational warfare. So you can see all these elders over here, this old generation, grey-haired, long-bearded. It's a persecution of the young, vibrant senators that sit over on the left-hand side of the board. So I urge you to vote against it.
I would agree that it's intergenerational warfare. The young are trying to loot the provinces from under the empire.
Yeah,
exactly.
We earn those provinces. Then you whippersnappers are going to come in and take all the spoils. I don't think so.
Okay, so fine. So if you're taking spoils, you can tax them. This is a tax law.
It's intergenerational theft.
And the person who decides whether or not this happens is going to be the censor.
Yep.
The censor, yeah.
Fine.
So I ask now, Marcus Decimus Meridius, how do you vote on this issue?
12 votes in favor.
Okay. Thank you. Numerius Aurelius, how do you vote on this issue?
So I have 6 additional law votes, so that will be a total of 23 votes in favour.
That's correct.
Look at all you boomers sticking together.
All the what sticking together?
All the boomers.
All the what?
All the baby boomers.
Baby boomers?
Titus Autronius Digitus, I want to hear your opinion on this.
If you were
I'm
born
struggling
before,
with the boomers.
if you were
Okay,
born
great.
before the Punic Wars, you're a baby boomer.
Exactly.
I will vote in favor. So the law is enacted then
Wow.
by the people of Rome.
I think that's our first law in our online sessions that we've ever seen. So well done, everybody. That's very exciting. And we'll put that up in the new law area that needs a dust off, never been used. So that's great.
Before we continue, Console, may I raise a point of order?
Yeah.
I believe we got the trial the prosecution wrong on that second one. So I would
Let's have a
just
look.
so I've kind of written out the formulas on my my faction area if anyone wants to have a look, but I believe it was in favour of going free.
Oh.
Okay.
So talk us
Was
through
in
it.
favor of going free.
So if we look at the top right, you should be able to see my cursor, correct? So it's popularity, and then the votes in favour from the
Rather,
advocate.
you mean the 28 influence?
Yeah, sorry, 28 influence. Yep, correct. And then it's the total of the advocate's votes minus the votes against, and then the trial votes. So it's 28 influence, 19 votes in favour of going free, minus 52. And then the trial votes worked out to be plus 10, which would be 28 minus 33 plus 10, which would then be 38 minus 33, which is positive 5.
Yeah, I never added the votes against
So,
the nay.
I mean, if anyone wants to check the formula, I mean, as I said, it's kind of broken up. So influence, the trial votes were 11. Oratory and influence of the oratory of the advocates. Yep.
Instead of saying positive and negative, you always need to make sure you use the terms guilty or not guilty, because
So it's-
positive and negative doesn't mean anything either direction.
So it's 28. So in this case, right, because the formula is FV has to be positive, has to be over 0 to go free, right? So you're minusing the guilty votes, which is why it's written out like this, right? So all the positive votes are the not guilty, and then you're minusing all the guilty votes.
Yep.
In which case the formula works out to be positive 5. In which
All right.
case would be 5 not guilty.
So
Right,
potentially
so-
we see a correction to the record here.
So I mean, again, like I've kind of written it out. So if anyone wants to debate the numbers or whatnot, but I kind of think that's correct, unless anyone says otherwise.
I like your diligence, Censor, and I'm happy to see the reversal of the changes that took effect in that second trial. Then
So then I will grant restitutio. So he will be. So Scipio Africanus then will not have to endure the.
Yeah. Something that I
deduction
didn't do
influence
when I was
and so on.
doing the calculations was the 19.
So how do I go about reversing this? What's the
add +5 popularity, +5 influence.
So no, that
Who
would
was
take
the
him back.
prosecutor?
That
Who
would
was
take
the
him.
who was the
That was
prosecutor?
Cato.
Cato's got a -3 influence.
Yeah.
So that restores Scipio to his pre-trial level, and then what about that? What does the outcome do? Because
Nothing. If it was not guilty, that's it. Nothing else changes.
So he was his own advocate as well.
No changes.
Right.
Yeah, no changes.
Yeah,
Then.
because if you're your own advocate, you don't get any benefits. So now that Cato has reversed his 3 influence, as a co-sponsor, he can gain 1 influence again because he helped to enact a law. And whoever the sponsor was, you add 3 influence. There
Yeah,
you go.
and did Kato add also 1 influence because he was co-sponsor?
Yeah, we just said that. Yep.
Yeah, I've just adjusted it so it's accurate. Yep.
There we go. All right. So I think we're tidy now. We reversed the outcome from guilty to not guilty for the second trial in the prosecution area phase. So thank you for the censor for checking back on his notes. That's quite good. The prosecutions has always been a bit funny because there's those 2.5 elements to it. And noting which way the votes fall, guilty or not guilty. It's good to sort of write it out. And I certainly encourage that for future prosecutions. So, good work, Censor, for just double checking those votes because, having a not guilty member face time is not a great outcome. So the righteous justice has been served and the innocent have been freed.
We don't want to come all this way several years in to, have that happen, right?
Well
Right.
done, Ingeniarius.
Very good. All right. That law has been enacted. Well done. And back to the Rome console, I think.
Yeah, I would like to strengthen our reforms. We have began with our reforms, but we are not finished, I guess. I would like to bring up a new law for consideration here, proposal. I would like to rest the power to fine the ex-governors with the order of the equities, the Knights order. So we can distribute power and not only have the censor holding this power in the future. Distributing power should be a goal in Rome, I guess.
I don't know how I feel about handing permanent power to the faction that controls the most knights. Like that seems to me consolidation of power more than.
So is anyone willing to sponsor this and co-sponsor this? So I've put this forward.
I'll
Maybe someone else would like to sponsor.
I'll sponsor it.
A sponsor or a co-sponsor?
Okay.
You could also sponsor it, right? But who would like to sponsor it then?
You can put Calpurnius.
Okay, great. Then I will proceed with the voting. Then I will ask Titus Autronius Digitus. How would you?
I don't think it's a good idea handing more power to the ones that already have the most knights.
Would it have to be knights in Rome, or can knights away from Rome?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. So whoever holds the most knights, even with senators who are away from Rome. Because in the equities are the.
In the interest of transparency, would everybody like to say how many they have? I have 3.
Okay, I have only 1, so it's not that I propose this out of own.
I believe. 6. Yeah, I have 6 as well. I believe Marker has 7.
Marker tends to gain here potentially.
So then I ask Numerius Aurelius, what is your opinion on this proposed law?
I can veto this, correct, or not?
No, you can't veto laws, I guess, if I'm correct. Laws are not vetoable.
23 against.
Okay. Machiavellia. What is your opinion on this law?
I think I still kind of struggled a little bit with kind of understanding it.
So the last law introduced the power to prosecute governors, a governor of the prosecutor's choice, to take away their spoils. This law modifies that to give that power to the faction that has the most knights, which is currently you.
So what do I get to do? I get to then decide whether or not.
Before where we
whether or
were
not
saying
and who to prosecute or the person to.
Yeah,
So
before when we were saying that the censor held that power when he was doing his prosecutions, it would then be given to the faction with the most knights, which is you.
Yeah, but knights can be lost or won.
That's
Correct.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm asking Marcus Decimus Meridius.
12 votes in favor.
Oh, thank you. I'm asking Tiberius Cornelius. Okay.
In favor.
So will it pass with my 8, or do I have to pay money towards it in order to get it passed?
Passes, I believe.
I guess.
23 plus 11 makes 34, and that makes 38.
Okay.
Yeah, 34 versus 38, correct?
Yeah, then it passes, right?
Oh, interesting. A second law. Amazing.
We need a knights in faction marker now.
We do. Yeah.
For the time being, Machiavellia has the most knights, correct? So it's now not the censor who can fine anyone, but it's now upon you if you want to fine anyone, Marka. And for the time being, it's only you now.
On the year of the governor's return.
On the year of the governor's return.
Yeah,
You are
on
correct.
the year of the governor's return.
Yes.
So you could fine Scipio right now.
Ooh. Whoa. And in
It's
what
not
ways?
a trial, it's a fine, right? It's technically
Correct.
not a trial.
Correct.
But the fine was monetary?
1d6.
Unless they can't pay it, then they lose influence.
So you whatever you decide will happen. So it's not that anyone can interfere with your decision because it's not a trial. It's a fine. That's the whole reason why we enacted the law beforehand, to take away power from the corrupt Senate sometimes.
It's your decision, Marco Edia. You could fine Cornelius Scipio. It is your decision.
It would be nice if you didn't. Once again, this is a man about to leave to defend the country. Get around him.
Oh, but he might only end up paying $1.
By the way, she can do it at any time in the Senate.
Yeah, I read
Yeah.
that.
We must do it before he leaves.
Oh,
Or just
before
not-
he
or
runs
just not do
away.
Your option not to do it.
And then they'll be like, roll the dice, and then it's a 1.
But Marka, you can.
Just
But
imagine.
and the money goes to the state treasury, or it just goes back in the bag?
Just
It
imagine
goes
the-
back into the bag.
Just imagine the positive theme that the Corona faction will hold the Aquila faction if you don't do anything.
So you want me to fine you?
The thing
No,
is,
I don't.
you.
Okay, just
Very
checking.
clearly,
But Scipio is not corrupt anymore, right?
Yeah, he's been
He
very
never
good
was.
boy. He's been a very good boy.
He was
Yeah,
found
But he's a
they
returned
can't find him.
governor. But he was a returning governor, which
Yeah,
who
but
was
it's not corrupt. Look on the Californian law. The censor can now find any one corrupt governor, and
Yes,
Scipio
but
is
wasn't
not
he corrupt? Didn't he
No.
take money from the provinces? No.
No, he didn't. No, he was trying to invest into the province, build it up.
Creative. I like that.
That was very good. I feel we can. That was very good lawmaking.
Yeah, I think specific isn't that you'd have the option not to go for spoils and go for province development, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or,
which is
sorry, it makes province development easier if you're not corrupt.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's what he
Yeah.
did. If memory serves, I think that was his approach throughout
Okay.
his life as governor. And who's
Yeah,
going
for
to
sure.
dispute that, right?
Yeah, right. Marka, you can. So at any time in the Senate phase, I wanted to remind you that any time in the Senate phase you could decide upon this issue. But
Have you got
Then I
that,
will
Marco
proceed
Edia?
now.
Anytime.
Yes, I'm processing.
anytime.
I'm processing, and yes, I'm. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
what's next, Rome Console?
Yeah. So, I guess before we are entering the discussion about our war preparations, we have to deal with the concessions, right?
If you like, that's optional. But
Yeah, that's optional. But maybe there's someone willing to get these concessions. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm willing to have them.
Yeah, I thought that would happen here. So, yeah, but you are already enriched yourself with a lot of concessions, right?
But I have a track record of donating and throwing games.
Ah,
The
okay.
most benevolent of dictators.
Yeah, okay. So, okay. Okay, let's see.
Oh, sorry. Correction. That last
Maybe.
law got passed. What does
Yeah.
the co-sponsor get again?
3 influence for the sponsor, 1 influence for the co-sponsor. Good pickup.
Good pickup. Yeah.
So that was components, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
Okay, great. Then I have to propose someone if no one is. So yeah, I know you came forward with one.
I'll put up my hand then. I'm a minor faction in this
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
And my concession that I have.
So
currently,
you would like to get the.
Yeah, let's grab like
Yeah.
harbor fees or something.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Okay.
I have boat related knowledge with my current concession.
Great. Who else is going to
Well,
take
my guys
this?
know nothing about mining, but they're happy to learn.
They're an enthusiastic
maybe-
miner, if nothing else.
Maybe we need to propose Junius. Would he be interested?
You can't make an elder a miner.
Oh, that was good.
Elders and miners don't mix. I'm sorry.
It's against the law.
That's good. That's good. I like that. That's in a clip.
Okay.
We clip that.
So is it against the law then? Okay.
You just got to watch The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Surely a law.
What is Junius saying to this?
Well, you can nominate him if you wish, right?
He's keeping his name away.
what's he gonna
far away
say?
from this proposal.
Yeah. Okay. Let's put this to the table now. The bill. This proposal. Machiavelli, what is your opinion on this proposal?
Can you repeat the question? I got confused. Everyone was like making really good jokes.
So
She was just overwhelmed with a new power to find people. So
yeah.
I propose Junius
the
to take up
concessions.
the
Yeah.
mining
No.
concession and.
No, where is my
No, you don't know who is.
Who is it? Is it? Oh, there we go. It's over there and over there. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I asked before.
Yes, and then there was a lot of words in between, and I was like,
Okay. Tiberius Cornelius, your opinion on this proposal?
I'll support it.
Okay. Titus Autronius, what is your opinion?
Let's go with yes.
Okay. Marcus Decimus Meridius.
12 votes in favor.
Yes, thank you. Numerius Aurelius.
It's 17 votes in favor.
Okay. I will vote in favor.
Oh, that was easy.
wow.
Yeah. So take your respective concessions then. Oh.
Splendid.
Splendid. A minor technicality now. I want to set the precedence with this. Maybe the next consuls will also do this then in the future. But I will now, to assure that no one else can put forward a consul for life proposal with a tribune or something, a nasty one. I will propose Fabius as consul for life. And I hope everyone votes this down in order to technically stop any further proposals regarding consul for life.
All right. So is that indeed the rule? So once somebody has been proposed as consul for life, if they hit that minimum eligibility, if that vote fails, are you saying that they can no longer be subject to another proposal for the rest of the game?
Yeah, and no one else can put forward a proposal concerning consul for life in this session, at least. And I hope that everyone else who comes next as consul will follow this precedent and will make sure that there's always a proposed consul for life, and then we will vote it down. So to make sure that no one else can come and jump in with a tribune or so and catch us. Concerning this question, then,
Just
yeah.
this be vetoed? Sorry, just a point of order.
I'll read everybody the rule here. So it's rule 1.09.821. At any time during the Senate phase following the consular elections, the presiding magistrate or a player playing a tribune may nominate any aligned senator in Rome with at least 21 influence, consul for life. The exception to this is that it cannot be proposed while the censor is presiding magistrate during prosecutions. The nominee may already hold an office. For this vote, the nominee may add his influence to his vote total. So just note that, please. Consul for life can be proposed only once per turn and cannot be vetoed. If a tribune is used to propose consul for life, it may, however, be cancelled by an appropriate intrigue card, i.e. a graft. Assassination attempts may take place during such a vote, but once elected or appointed, the consul for life cannot be assassinated, not even by a senator belonging to a rebel faction. Now, I'm just trying to find the part about the ability. Well, sorry, as you're right, consul, is that they can't be proposed again in the same turn, but in a subsequent turn, next Senate phase, they probably could be.
Yeah, that's true. But I want to set the precedent that
I see.
this is the way to go forward from now on, to always make sure that someone in a faction who is not capable to vote for consul for life on its own to get voted down, and for this session to eliminate this threat. I hope the other consuls will do the same afterwards.
Marco Agrippa in chat has toasted the consul from previously as well. Redeemed some beverage time, and I'm going to take a sip of my tea.
Yeah. I had an ice cream time before.
So
I
Titus, Aurelius.
Well,
how do you vote on this?
Can't say no.
Yeah, that's for sure. And with your 32 influence then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then while you're doing that, I will ask Numerius Aurelius. How do you vote? Marcus Decimus, how do you vote?
I'll abstain.
Abstain? Oh man, don't do this. Don't do this to me.
Is this happening?
Marcavedia, how do you vote on this issue?
Against. So we're saying we don't want him to be consul for life.
Okay, Tiberius Cornelius. Yeah, I don't want him to be consul for life. Tiberius Cornelius, how do you vote on this issue?
I think he's voted.
You already okay? So you will stick with this.
That's fine.
Okay. I will vote against this. But even if I would put all my money towards it, would it then even pass? So there was one person abstain.
This is extraordinary. What's the current total each way?
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting money towards it, but I don't think that
56 to 40.
56 in favour, currently 40 against. Is that correct?
Oh, is that sorry? Is that 32? Or is that money?
No, that's votes.
His influence goes towards
Influence.
It's influence.
Ah, right. I
It
thought it was
goes
a vote.
towards-
Sorry, I didn't understand the process.
That's all right.
Can I alter my vote now that I'm better informed?
Yeah, he did call for your vote, so you could technically change your vote if you wished.
The uninformed voter.
Okay. What is,
As usual, determining the outcome.
I think the
Thought it was a coup for a
console
minute there.
breathed a sigh of relief.
Was really confused why you were doing that. Like, I thought you had some 4D chess move up your sleeve.
As usual, I'm just not across the rules.
So is that
Yeah,
is that the vote over there,
it
console?
fails. It fails. Yeah. So
I was going to say,
it's
just going to say,
not
we were just about to. I was going to have to read some rules, which I've never had to read before.
Yeah.
Legitimately like ending the game.
Yeah, wow. Oh, yeah. It certainly wasn't walking in tonight to expect that. So I guess we all need to thank Tiberius Cornelius for allowing the game to continue.
Yeah, sorry,
I didn't expect it to get so thrilling now. For me,
too
it was
much
more a
stress.
technicality.
I assume that was your plan.
All right.
I decided I'd vote yes for shits and giggles, but that it wouldn't actually result.
Oh, man.
Okay. So, then I would say before we enter the phase for our war preparations, I will start with a speech. So again, honorable senators, I stand before you at this defining hour in our republic's history. Though we have tasted victory against Carthage in the past, the threat of our ancient foe still looms large over our lands. Dangerous Hannibal, ever cunning, ever ambitious, continues to scheme from the shadows, plotting to undo the hard-won stability of Rome. As long as Carthage endures, our security remains in jeopardy, and the specter of renewed conflict will forever haunt our future. It is not enough that we once triumphed over this foe. True security for our republic demands that Carthage be brought to its final end. The risk is too great to allow an enemy led by the ever perilous Hannibal to persist. Each day that Carthage exists is a day our enemies may conspire against us, and our allies grow wary of a Rome that has not decisively sealed its fate. I call upon Mars, the mighty god of war, whose divine fury and martial strength have guided our legions to countless victories. Let his sacred flame kindle in our hearts to resolve to act with unyielding determination. By invoking Mars, we pledge that our campaign against Carthage will be swift, resolute, and unrelenting. Noble senators, let us cast aside hesitation and convene our collective will. It is our solemn duty to secure the future of Rome by establishing a permanent peace, forged only through the complete and final defeat of Carthage. In doing so, we honor not only the valor of our forebears, but also the trust of our allies and the enduring legacy of our republic. May Mars grant us the strength to vanquish this threat once and for all, and may our actions ensure that Rome's glory and security shine undimmed for all time. So I would like to hear from Cato the Elder
Bravo.
about his opinion.
What's the proposition, though?
My
My proposition is that we will fight the war against Carthage.
Caterham Kensio Carthaginem delendam est.
Yeah, I wanted to hear from Cato the Elder.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
Well
yes,
done,
certainly. Hopefully, we will destroy them. I'm not sure why Koto's in the spotlight, perhaps it'd be best to ask Junius as the Pontifex Maximus for the blessings of the gods, but Cato concurs with the Rome consul.
And the Pontifex Maximus is also blessing our endeavor, our campaign.
I've heard that he will be on the seaside smashing bottles of wine against the hulls of the naval fleet as they go to smash the Carthaginians.
Okay. Then I would like to delegate the preparations of this war to my fellow consul, Scipio Africanus, and he may take counsel as he wishes. And once he is finished with his counsel, then I will formulate the proposal and let it authorized by the Senate then.
Yeah, we'll be in Carthage by Christmas. Are you looking for me to recommend the forces that we take?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's take them all.
If you want me to propose this to the Senate, I will do it for sure. But
Well, let's bring up the combat calculator.
Send them all on the Pergamene bequest. That's
Exactly.
exactly, nothing else.
so. For those watching along live or at home right now, in an interesting fashion, the Rome consul has sort of opted towards the field consul at the moment to start a discussion with the Senate on how Rome is going to address their ever-present conflict issue. And if you're looking at the screen right now, you can see there's essentially 4, let's call them conflict opportunities. Really, there's 3. Of course, we've got this unusual Pergamene bequest down here in which they could also commit forces for benefits. I think out of that, they'll get not only 50 talents, but potentially Provincia Asia, which I think which is not technically available yet, as we may have alluded to before. We can see a very complex conflict on the left there with the Macedonian Wars. We have matching war cards with a commander, Philip V, and a captured province, which is also adding to the strength of that war. So that's certainly quite a bit to contend with strength-wise there. Then, of course, we have the Punic War in the center, being the 3rd one. And then finally, we've got the Numantine War out there on the right. Each present their own sort of complexities there. The Punic War has a strength of 14, but it has 4 danger noodle numbers, 2 disasters and 2 standoffs, which adds to the complexity. The Numantine War has 2 standoff numbers there that they'd have to avoid. Again, that's the smallest of the wars with only strength 8. And yeah, certainly quite a large strength value that will require a huge commitment if they're going to take on the Macedonian War there. So certainly lots for the Senate to think about. They're also sort of cognizant of age. I would suspect that they won't necessarily bother with the Numantine War at this time, or maybe they might look for a quick win to keep the war count down, and they will in fact prosecute that, but we'll see what really in the end the Rome consul will propose. The age of the war is something they're going to keep an eye on. So the 3rd Punic War being age 4, that will age each mortality phase. And once it reaches age 6, that's it. It's game over. So as you can tell, they've really not got that much more time left to prosecute the Punic War. And really then the Macedonian War is not far behind. So yes, interesting times. And let's see if the consuls are ready to make some proposals.
So my recommendation is that we send a force of 16, which include the 5 veteran legions and 6 green legions.
Okay. Then we will send 16 legions will mean every legion will be in the force pool, and the active force pool will go towards the war, right, against Carthage?
No,
they'll still be.
We're keeping 8
7 veteran legions.
7 veteran legions.
Okay, yeah.
How much
Senators, if I would propose, if we were possibly going to send a second force to another army, we should maintain that the second force has some green legions so that they can rank up.
Yeah, or we could send somebody to get the Pergamene bequest. I mean, the 50 gold is also direly needed.
No,
Yeah,
but the thing is, we would have to send the field consul, and we need him in.
Oh,
Carthage.
yeah. It's explicitly the field consul. I thought it was any consul.
No, yeah, that's the problem.
can we activate it, Slave?
So Marcus Decimus, you would suggest what exactly then? That the Rome consul is going to take legions with him?
All I was suggesting is if we were thinking of possibly having 2 wars fought this turn, which might be something to consider, that before we set a proposal that sends away all of our green legions to one battle, we would switch 2 green legions for 1 veteran. So if we did send a second force, we would ensure that there were green legions that would gain experience in both wars.
Yeah, I would ask the field consul to take those considerations into
It's a
account.
valid point.
Would this be to your satisfaction, Marcus Decimus?
And then I think my only other thought was, I believe we've had this discussion in the past. If we were to hit a danger noodle number, and we did lose our naval support for this campaign, that would mean that war becomes unprosecuted, which is quite bad for us. So yes,
What's
I was
the
going
extra
to
fleets that we should say? Just 1 extra fleet?
I believe the worst outcome is half of all forces. So I believe 2 would suffice in that.
Yeah, okay. Should we activate the Sicilian slave result and fight that one? Because it'll get rid of a drought if we win it.
So before we ask this question, I would also like to ask Numerius Aurelius about his opinion on this arrangement that is currently considered.
I think there's a little bit of risk, but overall, I'm in favour of it.
What was our percentages again?
Around 80.
88. It was 80.
Yeah, it was 81.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the Numantine bar.
Okay. 81. So yeah, it's a 4/5 chance of victory. That's certainly not the worst roll we've made, sitting in the Senate, sending good men off to fight.
Yeah, and
I
of
know
those
as well
outcomes, the largest percentage outcome other than victory was stalemate rather than disaster or defeat.
Yeah. And then we're covering the stalemate by having our 2 sets of supporting fleets.
Okay, then you would be fine with this proposal later on if it would be proposed Numerius Aurelius, correct?
I'm agreeable, yep.
Agreeable. Machiavellia, I would like to get your opinion on this arrangement.
It was at 88. I was looking at the calculator. The calculator kept going back. What was the exact odds? Was it 88 or 80?
It was 81 something.
Okay.
But adding more forces would increment it up to 83. It doesn't seem like.
And it's not worth it. Well, basically, that's it. That's your answer. You just basically have to at some point, there's a law of diminishing returns. Although I must say, it would be nice to have slightly better odds.
It would, but it's unfortunately that standoff and disaster numbers are the things that are immutable here.
I pray whoever rolls well.
Hopefully I'm not rolling.
We could also send the Rome consul to the Numantine war.
Yeah, but let's discuss this later on, because if we are finished with this preparation, we can turn towards the other wars. And I would propose now to send Scipio Africanus with 2 fleets and 10 legions to prosecute the 3rd Punic War against Hannibal.
If we vote yes to this, does it close the Senate session?
No.
Because
Rome consul,
the Rome consul is still in Rome.
Yep, no worries.
So I'm going to ask then Machiavellia, what is your opinion on this proposal to send Scipio Africanus with 10 legions and 2 fleets?
Yes. This is for the
Against
first one,
Carthage.
or we start.
Okay.
We're still on the Punic War, aren't we?
This is now a formal proposal. So
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
that's a proposal that we would prosecute the Third Punic War with Scipio Africanus.
Yes. Did you want me to move my things now?
So your vote on this issue?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a formal proposal now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then Tiberius Cornelius, how do you vote on this issue? Okay.
Favour.
Titus Autronius, your vote? Thank you. Numerius Aurelius, what is your vote on this?
I'm going to vote all my votes in favor, but I just wanted to check one sec. My battle votes. How do I
Okay, yeah.
calculate those again? Is it? I just saw it somewhere. Because it's 2 times.
Number of
isn't it?
votes, a faction, battle votes is
thought it was-
determined by.
It's like double the what the Pontiff would send.
Yeah.
I think
And
so.
then-
Would you like me to quickly check so we can just confirm? It's always nice.
I believe that's correct. It just like flashed up before. Just because my Pontifex went up an oratory previously, I haven't adjusted.
Yeah, so
my
your
votes.
vote might be up to 6 as well
Yeah, I
now.
believe it's 6. I want to.
And then 1 for each priest, which I don't think you've been handing out priests.
I haven't. Yeah, it's 2 times battle vote, so it should be 6 unless anyone has any complaints.
And yeah, because this proposal is to prosecute the
No,
war,
I don't
it is a
have any
battle vote.
complaints.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, I think it's specifically about sending troops to battle is the terminology they use.
Cool. All right. I just wanted to check just because it flashed up before and I thought I haven't updated it. In which case, that will be 23 votes in favor of the war.
Okay, thank you.
The pro-war
Marcus
vote.
Decimus?
I wish to join the
This
pro-war vote. I send my 12 votes in favor for this proposal.
Oh, thank you. And I vote in favor also. Then the
Is
proposal
that-
passes.
Finally, we will know what war is good for.
Rome.
So just to confirm, everybody, so every priest receives 1 extra vote when voting on a proposal that will send forces against a war and or retain their commander. The Pontifex Maximus battle influence. The Pontifex Maximus doubles his personal votes, including those of his knights, but not those bought with talents, when voting on any proposal that will send forces against a war and or retain their commander.
So you would have 8
8.
total
Excellent.
votes.
Cool. Perfect.
So I wish my fellow consul good luck and the blessings of Mars.
All right, so let's go get the Scipio Africanus battle gear going. Let's have a look. Is he a grey fella or a white bordered fella? Scipio Africanus. He's the bald fella, right?
Right.
1A, yeah. I got 1C there. There he is. Got him. He's looking pretty handsome there in his armor. And where's he off to?
Punic War.
The 3rd Punic War. All right, very good. Just shuffle some of those out of the way. And I'm just going to gently bring them down here, like so. Cool. Excellent. Great. Makes it nice and clear. Cool. Marvelous, marvelous.
Great. So all preparations are finished, right, with this war?
Yes.
And before we go ahead, I would like to ask, for example, Titus Autronius, if Achilles would like to co-sponsor a land bill in order to bring down the unrest level.
A land bill to bring down the unrest level. Isn't the income our concern right now?
Correct. We only have 44 talents in the treasury.
Yeah, but we could take the land bill type 2, which would mean we would have to pay 5 per year for this one. So overall 10 per year. It's not to be paid now.
I know, but I was under the impression that the treasury was one of our general issues. Like, I mean, I'm not sure, like, because unrest of 2 seems manageable to me.
Yeah, I agree with that logic.
If we win the war as well, it'll go down, correct? So
Yeah,
seems to be a null issue.
Just win, forehead.
So
True.
not willing to sponsor.
Don't doubt yourself.
Okay, then I have to take it upon myself, I guess, in order to sponsor and co-sponsor it. So I propose a land bill type 2. So I'm reminding everyone that there are penalties towards voting this down, correct?
No, for repealing it.
But voting against it is also penalties.
-1.
And you can't abstain.
Vote against -1.
And be reminded that type 2 is even the milder option. Type 3 would be the next scale here, right? So I'm putting this land bill forward, and will ask then Machiavelli about her opinion and how their senators will vote on this issue.
I think it's. I was just going to say, I think it's relevant to note that, remember, your senators can vote individually. So if you want to put some votes yes, some votes no, I guess only your senators that vote no are going to cop the -1 popularity penalty.
Yeah, well, at the moment, Machiavelli just has one senator that can vote.
And in this case, she has only one senator in Rome, right?
Right.
So as long as he's not
land bills cost us
schizophrenic,
money as
he
well?
can't split his votes.
5 every year.
Yeah, 5 talents per year, but it's a very, very mild option. The other one, we would have to, type 1, we would have to pay 20 talents immediately. And the other one is only 5. So, and my consul is now on popularity 0. And if he would have to give the speech next round, he would need popularity, right?
Okay.
To get
Again, I mean,
and we can reduce unrest.
It seems pointless in the sense that if we win the war, the unrest will go down to 0, presumably, right? So,
yeah,
which is like an 80% chance per previous statistics.
Well, yeah, and if we do, like, we're probably not going to be playing if we kind of lose the war a bit, maybe, you know.
Seems like a desperate grab for popularity by the sponsors.
Yeah,
he needs it.
Hey, it's not. Yeah, I need it.
Help a brother out.
Well, okay.
So, okay, Machiavelli has voted. Then Tiberius Cornelius. Tiberius Cornelius, what is your opinion on this proposed land bill?
I vote for fiscal restraint.
Okay. Marcus Decimus, what is your opinion on this land bill?
12 votes against.
Numerius Aurelius. Okay.
We must stand strong.
17 votes against. Popularity be damned.
The people will understand.
Then Titus Autronius.
I forgot to go to the Senate today.
You can't abstain.
Oh, thank you very much.
Some bread and sauce.
What happens
I
here
will
if we all
vote
vote
for
against
it.
He can't abstain.
So
right?
it is done.
I
We
don't
have
think
to
he can
apply the
abstain.
effects now.
Can we just check that? I
You
don't think he can abstain.
you can't abstain. Yeah, that's correct. He can't abstain. So you have to vote for or against. Okay, then I will lose my influence 1.
He's going to maintain the presiding magistrate by losing 1 influence. Okay, certainly. All right.
And then we have to apply the effects of all those factions and senators voting again.
So everybody who's voted, i.e. your senators in Rome, now need to -1 popularity, please. For those that voted against, which was everyone else except the yellow faction. -1 popularity, all senators in Rome who were the ones that voted.
It's fair trade.
Some people weren't popular to begin with.
Yeah.
So everyone once everyone has adjusted his popularity count, then please make it known to me.
Done.
Good to go.
Done.
So is anyone left who has to reduce popularity? Or okay, I think no one. Then I will have to go ahead with proposing land build type 3. I can't propose type 2 anymore. I can only propose type 3 now.
You
And
could
then
take the third
again-
option, which is to propose no land bill at all.
Yeah,
I agree.
Good idea.
You know what I mean?
that's not a good idea.
Someone assassinate this console immediately.
Gratias Tibiago to Jor Tanos, Senator Titus Domitius Draco from Nova Roma for another gifted tier 1 sub. That's gone to Pew Pew Horny or Pooney, however we want to pronounce that. There you go. You've got a gifted sub there from Jor Tanos. Gratias. Pony.
Okay. So then I will ask Marcavelia again for her opinion on this proposed land build type 3.
Why do we need these land bills?
You don't
Especially
need
being your
them.
authority.
It's very confusing.
I do need it because I'm the Rome consul, and if I'm going to,
and
so
if you're
it's
going
going
to
to
what?
the Nay area.
And if you're going to what?
So your vote.
No, but why do you need all this popularity?
He's insecure.
Okay, whatever. I told you again, right? Because I'm on 0 popularity, and if I have to have the hold the speech for the state, then I will need this popularity.
Well, you can win
So-
popularity the old-fashioned way by winning battles.
Yeah, that's an option, but I
And
wouldn't trust.
sponsoring games.
Yeah, if I would have money, so the other factions have a lot of money.
I
to
feel
sponsor
you.
them.
I feel you.
Yeah. Tiberius Cornelius, what is your opinion on this land bill then? Okay. Marcus Decimus Meridius, what is your opinion on this land bill?
I am going to have a split vote.
Ooh.
I'm going to put 3 votes against,
Okay.
and I'm going to put 9 votes in favour.
Oh, yeah. Who are your senators? Yep. Lovely.
So how do I understand this now? That who is voting for and who is against?
4, And
Aurelius is voting for.
yes.
Okay, and against.
9 and 3.
So in order to make, okay, we have, yeah, okay. Then maybe do we put the nominee marker in order to make sure that the one who is voting against?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like that. Perfect.
So Sulpicius is voting against this, right? And then
Yep.
yeah, and the other one is oops. The other one is voting for. Okay, that's it. So then, our Numerius Aurelius, how do you vote on this proposal?
I'll vote the same. I'll do a split vote. So I'll do 6 votes in favour for Cato. And then 10 votes against. 11 votes against, sorry.
Or Pontifex Maximus?
Well, for the other two.
Who's,
The other
for the
two.
other two? Of
Yeah, the other two, if that
Yeah,
makes
great.
sense. Yep.
I'll just put that in the middle.
Yep.
Whoops, I'm going to put that over here. There we go. Yeah. Nice.
Then, Titus Autronius, how do you vote on this issue then?
I think then that's a really good idea with the split vote and thing. I'm gonna split 3 and 3. So it's exactly
Possibly our most complex vote yet.
voting in favor and Aurelius voting against.
I think electing the censor last game was pretty complex.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, then I will vote with 8 votes, but it doesn't pass, right? Then I will hit. No, I don't have to reduce my influence because not all senators voted
Correct.
unanimously against
Correct.
this. Thank you for this, senators. That's great.
All right, so all those on the nay side, please make sure that your senators respectively deduct the minus 2 popularity.
-2, no?
Yes.
-2 popularity, yeah.
-2 popularity for all those that put a tag on the nay side, please.
Where have my
-2
votes
popularity. Your vote marker's here. There it is. Brought it back.
gone?
You've been eliminated from democracy.
Yeah. My vote doesn't count
And
anymore.
we have to remind everyone that they can go into the minus, right, with the popularity.
Can I?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Until
I get
-9.
Negative.
There
you go.
So, yeah, that's it. So you can go up to 9, -9 popularity.
Good to know. I still have further to fall.
Yeah. And Tiberius Cornelius, you also adjusted your popularity with
I
all
certainly
your
did.
senators.
I have no use for popularity. I stand on principle.
And what happened to Julius then? He has 8 popularity still left, even though he voted 2 rounds against it.
Yeah.
How did this happen, actually?
He's king of the schoolyard.
He's just very popular. I know you don't understand, console.
It was the fastest runner in primary school, and it's all just gone on from there.
Is your point that Julius should actually be on 7 popularity if he voted negative or 6 popularity?
I thought that Tiberius for 2 rounds voted against this, and he's still on 8 with his Julius then, right?
So if he was at 9, he should be on 6.
That's
He was at 11. Now he's at 8.
Well, you can't have more than 9 popularity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he did. If I just refer you to my entire lack of knowledge of the rules.
Okay, yeah. You can only have a max of 9 and a negative of -9. There's the range of popularity.
Sometimes people just break the mold.
They're just so popular. They burst out.
Okay. Then
Who are you to put
Then I
on
will-
somebody's popularity?
then I will propose a land bill type 1.
he's
Put
keen.
this,
Okay.
put
At
this
the
one
end of
to
this
the vote.
voting, I'm going to have to
And,
get ready soon for bed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, there's
This is the last.
is there an assassination
Proposition.
attempt incoming?
If you keep this up,
So, Marcavedia, what is your opinion on this proposed land bill type 1?
Can I just give you the money and then we stop voting on this?
It's not the money he's looking for.
Well, can't you use
I'm
the
not
money to
looking
buy
for the money.
popularity?
You need the popularity.
And why do you need the popularity again?
Because I'm the Rome consul and have to give the speech of the state of the Republic.
And why do you need popularity for that?
No, why do we need to bankrupt Rome? Then that's the bigger question.
We will not bankrupt Rome because the other senators who are very wealthy will supply the money for the treasury, the state treasury. I'm sure of this. they will not let Rome down, right?
But I still don't understand why you need extra popularity.
All right, so his thinking is when he does the state of the public
Yep.
speech, if he rolls poorly, by gaining extra popularity, that will up the roll. Because the State of the Republic is your 3d6 plus your popularity. We have elected a Rome consul that has low popularity, while recently it's been quite high, which has helped us a lot. So that's his thinking.
Yeah, still.
Is it really worth it?
That's
I'm
up
not
for us to
convinced.
vote. That's up for our vote.
So, Machiavelli, what is your opinion on this proposed
And then
plan
we've got
that have
it's
won
going to
then?
cost us 20 talents.
Yeah.
In the revenue phase.
Now it's costing us 20 talents. Before, it would have been mildly 5 talents per year, but now it's 20 talents
That's
immediately.
all your fault, everyone. It's all your fault.
So, Tiberius, what is your opinion on this issue now? Okay. Marcus Decimus, what is your opinion on this?
12 votes in favor.
And Numerius Aurelius, what is your opinion on this?
17 votes against. Oops.
And Titus Autronius, what is
Yeah.
your?
Well, 1 second. I'm splitting again. I have
Okay.
a Fabius vote in favor and a Athenius vote against. And they cancel each other out.
Okay, thank you. And I will vote in favor, but it still doesn't pass, right? But I do not have to lose the influence because there were other senators.
All right,
who voted
everybody that
against.
voted against, another -1 popularity to all of your senators in Rome, please. -1 popularity to all of your senators in Rome. To those who voted against.
I'll roll for you. I'll make sure it's a good roll.
Just so you know, once this Senate session is concluded, we're going to call the night. We'll finish up.
Yeah,
once-
but is it that Machiavelli requested to stop it now, right? We cannot continue to propose because there was some demand to send another force, maybe to another war. But I heard Machiavelli say something like this must be the last proposal also.
Have you got 5 more minutes, Marco-Eddie, or do you need to head off?
We can do that.
Cool. All right, nice and quick, Rome
Okay.
consult.
Yeah, okay, then I will propose to send the Rome consul against the Numantine War, I guess, with 3 fleets and all the 8 legions we have left in the active force.
It's that's 12, 13, 14 combat strength.
Perhaps it'll be wise to raise 1 more fleet, so that way we know we're definitely going to be safe.
Yeah, that's true, maybe. Then I will propose to raise 1 more fleet, and I will put this to the vote now.
What's the financial?
And then
We will
10.
if we win, yeah.
That means 10 talents will be deducted from the state treasury now. So Marcus Decimus, how do you vote then on this
12
proposal?
votes in
Raise it
favor.
1 more fleet. Okay, Numerius Aurelius. Yeah, Machiavelli.
Yay.
Tiberius. Titus. Antonius. Yeah, I vote for also. Yeah, passes.
I raised the 1 fleet.
Thank you. Thank you. Then I propose to send Claudius with 4 fleets and 8 legions against the Numantine War. And I'm asking Machiavelli then how she will vote on this proposal.
Yes. When and we'll
Thank you,
save it for next time
Tiberius.
to vote on the war.
What is
to
your
roll it
vote?
on it.
We will action the combat phase in our next game, correct?
Yeah.
Tiberius, what is your opinion on this proposal? Thank you. Marcus Decimus, your
12 in
opinion?
favour.
Yeah. Numerius Aurelius. Thank you.
A lot in favour.
Titus Autronius.
All in favor?
All in favor. So it passes.
And with that, that will close the Senate session and subsequently close our overall session for the day. So here we will bid our senators farewell, and I'll come back and give our usual end of session debrief. So for our senators, you want to say walete.
Walete.
All right. And for those watching live, don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, we are back for our end of session review for session, I think it was 22 that we're up to. Is that what we're up to tonight? Yeah. Another big marathon Senate session. And I certainly think that is what makes our particular sessions really long and really elongated. Sure, the digital environment adds a little bit of delay and a bit of slowness to the pace. But what I really like is our senators really like to get in and reenact and role play the senators and everything that's happening, and we hear some of the most amazing speeches. I tell you what, there must have been some sort of preparation tonight. Somebody already predicting certain outcomes. We heard both speeches from advocates and speeches from consuls. It was just absolutely inspiring, and I tell you what, anybody dropping by would have been would have thought that this was the real Rome, a documentary, if you will. And that's why I love facilitating these games. Is the passion of our players and our subsequent senators there. So let's recap a little bit more about what happened tonight. Interesting in the end there. Obviously, the current consul Claudius in the yellow faction under Appius Rufius, pretty keen to get a land bill through. Obviously, appeared to be a grab for popularity, noting some concerns about a future. Potential future of a State of the Republic address, perhaps, so maybe some other means as it needs to getting popularity. But yes, when all the sponsors and co-sponsors are in the one faction for a land bill, it tends to go one particular way. We've often seen. So yes, no love there. I think he there's at least one of the votes he had to cough up an influence because he would have lost the presiding magistrate otherwise. People weren't keen to spend any more money, and perhaps rightly so. The Treasury now sits at 34 after the raising of one extra fleet to support their outcome with the Numantine War. I guess what the Senate was keen to ensure there, that if for some reason they had a standoff or otherwise, that the war could be considered prosecuted if they lost some fleets there. So if they lose below the required fleet strength, then wars can be considered unprosecuted, which is not ideal when it comes to costing that out a little bit later. So they're going ahead with attacking 2 wars. The Third Punic War, I guess that's our oldest war, and that was probably a good choice. And then, interestingly, the weaker of the wars that were out there is the Numantine War. So again, to reduce the total war tally. So that's not necessarily a wrong move, but that leaves the really, really strong Macedonian War out there for another round. And hopefully, I guess they're looking to build up to that, give themselves some air gap by removing some of the other wars. So look, it's not a must-win combat phase. They've only got the 3 wars out there, but ideally, if they can knock out both of those without any issue, that will put them in a really good stead and put them in such a positive stead that they haven't been in for a very long time. The Senate and our players have always been right on the edge every single combat phase and every single Senate phase, which has been perhaps a lot of stress, but maybe this is an opportunity to get ahead for a change. So I guess we look forward to a positive outcome for both the Third Punic War and the Numantine War when we play the combat phase in our next session. And look, I think that'll do it for now for turn 14. When we resume again, when we play, we'll start off in that combat phase and look to see those positive outcomes. Well, that is really all we have for today's session 22. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on board and watching today. Thank you again to Jortanos for his gifted sub there. Always a pleasure. Always supporting Nova Roma. That's brilliant. And of course, we have Pew Pew Pony, who received that sub and has jumped into the chat there as well. So always great. Thank you very much. I am Decimus Aurelius. You're watching the Roman channel on Twitch. And until next time, Welete.